Wack 100 posts a $750,000 bond for Keefe D, who is admittedly Tupac's killer, because he says it was justified.
You can't find one dude that's from the streets. I'm a Tupac fan. You can't find one street dude that's gonna tell you what happened wasn't justifiable.
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget those cash apps to CLBMG. Yo, listen, I just heard one of the most weird podcasts. Bootleg Kev has a episode out speaking directly to Wack 100 on his decision to put up bond for Keefe D, who is admittedly in the car when Tupac was murdered. And in the beginning of the interview, the podcast, he starts to explain his reasons why he wanted to put up the $750,000 bond for Keefe D, who is around 60 years old. He claims his cancer has come back, and he has little resources, little means to pay this money and get himself out of jail. So he feels that Keefe D, quote unquote, is innocent. Upon being pressed as to why would he put the money up for Keefe D, who admittedly knows who shot and killed Tupac, he went on to say, any street dude that you ask about this would say it was justified. The murder of Tupac was justified. He went on to say that Tupac should be revered for ruining death row and getting Suge Knight 9 years in jail, because Suge Knight was on a parole of some sort, that if he got into any kind of trouble, he would be facing 9 years. And Pac got Tupac those 9 years. I'm sorry, Pac got Suge those 9 years. And as well as brought down the entire death row, the whole conglomerate down, because of his one stupid action of stomping out Orlando Anderson, aka Baby Lane, in the casino after the Mike Tyson fight that we've all seen the footage of. So let's discuss this. First of all, I believe the judge denied the bond, and I believe the prosecutor spoke on denying the bond because Keefe D is not allowed under law to make any money off of this case. He is not allowed to profit from this case. He is not allowed to go out and do interviews and speak to people about this case and get paid to do so, right? That's why they were not hesitant. They were absolutely defiant to not let Keefe D out of prison for this reason. Now, let's talk about this. I heard Wack say any street dude would say this is justified. Well, guess what? I'm a street dude. I don't know LA politics. Let's just start there. I'm not from LA. I'm not in a gang. I don't know the politics of LA. But what I do know is when someone is in a car that a drive-by shooting occurs in, they actually part of the murder, right? You're considered one of, I don't know nobody who's going to get out of that car and get caught for that murder, but they're going to let him go because he didn't pull the trigger. So to sit there and say you're not a street dude, or any street dude would say this was justified, what street dude is going to say it's justified for this guy to be in the car? I believe, was he the driver? Something to that essence, or I don't know what seat he was in, but he says he didn't pull the trigger. Wack's reasoning of the killing being justified is because Baby Lane was a known hitter. And for Pac to go get out of his vehicle, get out of the fight and go and find Orlando and kick him and beat him and let him walk away was an egregious offense that any street dude would retaliate from. Well, guess what? I'm from the streets, and it doesn't matter what you're retaliating for. No one says, yeah, that was justified. If you come back around my way and you like the whole setup, you think we're going to be like, yeah, we deserve that. Yeah, he right. You right. He hit my man. He deserved it. He had it coming. Yeah. We stomped him out in the casino and he killed them. That's eye for an eye. That's how that goes. Oh, well. Wack. I don't know Bootleg Kev. I don't know whoever was in the podcast, and I know they can't challenge you because they're bringing you there as their friend. They have a relationship with you. They talk to you all the time, and I'm not doing this as a disrespectful situation, but at the same time, we're not going to have you say Tupac murder was justified because he got in a fight with a gangbanger. Right? Now, we all can agree Tupac went too far. But technically, in that interview, Wack is saying Tupac brought this on himself and he deserved it. Wack is saying Baby Lane was justified to do what he did all of a sudden because he's a shooter. Right? He said Pac would never, he starts the sentence out saying, I'm a fan of Pac. You're not a fan of Pac because right after you finished saying, I'm a fan of Pac, you went on to say how stupid Pac was for doing what he did and how he deserved to get hit. And how we should all move forward with letting Keefe D off the hook. Well, I'm going to be the first to say I disagree with that situation. Yeah, Pac wilded out. He bugged out. Right? He bugged out. And I hear, I don't know for sure that Orlando Anderson wanted to fade. But also, the rumors are that there was $1 million exchanged for this hit too. Remember that part? Remember the part where Keefe D was supposed to get the $1 million? Right? Y'all remember all that? And Keefe D didn't get the $1 million? Homeboy kept it and opened a nightclub? Y'all forgot that part? So this technically ain't, according to the streets, this killing wasn't over no, we beat up Orlando in the casino. Allegedly, right? Ain't that what they lining Diddy up for right now? Ain't that what they holding Keefe D for so they can get to the $1 million payment? So they can get Diddy for real? Ain't what this is all about? So we're talking about street politics, right? Allegedly, and rumors and innuendo. So apparently, according to the streets, he wasn't killed over this fight with Orlando Anderson. This was something that led up to it. I allegedly heard that Orlando wanted to fade. He wanted to fight. You'll know better than me, Wack. I'm just dead ass. So to get on this guy, now everybody know what the real question is. Wack wants this interview with Keefe so he can do this documentary, but he can't say that, right? He can't say that, and that's okay. That's okay. Make your money. No one's mad at that. But when you start talking about Pac deserved it and let Keefe D out because he's 60 years old, he got cancer, the only people really want Keefe D out, low key, I'm going to be honest, is Wack so he can get this interview before he died. That's where we at with this. Let's just be honest, bro. It ain't no disrespect. I can talk to Wack 100 directly. We can have a conversation, but it ain't no disrespect. But we all see through this. And a lot of us Pac fans not going to sit lightly to you saying that. This is what I want to say. First of all, saying Pac deserved it, that's a matter of opinion, right? And you have every right to say that. And some people, I would be remiss if I didn't respect the streets and say, when you stomp out a killer, that killer probably gonna come back and do what he does best. Pac stomped out a killer. Let's just be honest. He stomped out a killer. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't know what really happened after that stomping out. We don't know if Pac was lined up by the people that was with him. We don't know what actually happened. Right? We're not going to say that this dude is some magic man that if you touch him, I'm going to touch you back. And all of a sudden, we don't know what actually transpired. It could have been a whole lot of moving gears. Yo, he's here, he's there, da-da-da. We don't know if this guy was even going to find him or not. Now, Keefe D, let's get to Keefe D, right? Back in my day, if you sat in the car when dudes bust off at me, you just as culpable. You are part of the murder. Keefe D has been going around for 25 years, increasingly and more saying what happened in that car. I remember one time, at one point, Keefe D was giving you very little. And then it turned into Keefe D he's sitting back comfortable, giving you the whole story, telling you who was in the car, what they did, da-da-da-da. It got to a point Keefe D didn't have no problem telling you, wrote a whole book and everything. Keefe D got so comfortable that nobody was going to touch him, he started to make all kinds of deals for his story. And see, this is where we are in society, where a man that is a suspect in a murder case could go on Vlad TV and literally go on there about 5 or 6 times and tell more and more of this story with no fear or of repercussion. You know why? Because we're in a society now where we want to hear that. We like this. Tell me more. We sit there. We revere the criminal. I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot of dudes that came up with me when I was young that went to jail for 20 years. They just started getting out in the last 5 years. And guess where they at? More popular than ever. They on YouTube. Right? A lot of dudes from my city on YouTube now, more popular than ever. Straight up killers. They on YouTube telling their story, got followers, got fans, and all that. Because we revere the killer. You know why? Because a lot of people on YouTube are not killers. They're regular, everyday people sitting in offices, sitting at work, sitting in school, sitting in class. They want to hear these stories because they have no clue what this is about. They've never seen nothing like this. They don't know nothing about this. So this is jarring. These stories are amazing. I like these stories too. But I also know them with a grain of salt because I was there. Right? I was there when these guys was coming up. And then you open up the paper and they done killed a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. And they're going to trial for murder. Right? I was there when I was 14 and 16. So it don't hit the same to me as somebody who's 21 right now and they're all encapsulated with the stories, right? It's real people behind these stories. So this thing with Keefe D literally is confessing to murder. We laugh and we ha he with Keefe D. Keefe D been a joke for the last 7 to 10, I ain't gonna say 10, about 8 or 9 years. Keefe D been a joke. Damn, everybody, it's funny, ha he. But let's peel back some of this stuff. Keefe D is literally telling you, I was in the car, if I'm not mistaken, handed weapons to people, pulled up beside this man, and aired him out while he was sitting in the passenger seat. Hit him, I don't know how many times, and then drove off. Hit that long road back from Vegas to LA. I drove that road, literally drove that road myself. Drove that road and went home. It wasn't no secret in LA who did this. They went for years being known as the people who did this. And the simple fact of the matter is Keefe D is literally telling you, I did this. Now give me a bag to tell you when it happened, what happened, who did what. I'll tell you whatever you need to know. He's been doing that for years. When I saw that Keefe D got locked up, I was like, damn, that's messed up. And that's how goofy I have become. When I'm thinking that a 60-year-old man who literally was in a car handed weapons to the guy who killed this man is messed up for being arrested. Wack 100 is claiming that Keefe D is too old and is innocent, so therefore he should be released and he has the money to do it, so he's going to do it. You think Wack 100 is putting up $750,000 out the counters of his heart? You think that? You really think that this man is going to put up almost $1 million with the risk that Keefe D could run, because he could run? Keefe D literally could get on a boat to Cuba or wherever he wants to go and Wack could be out of that money. You think Wack is putting that money up because Keefe D is cool? Am I bugging? So let me just ask you this. I don't even think Keefe D and Wack 100 is even in the same affiliation. In what world does it make any sense other than money to put up this bail for Keefe D? And on top of that, I want to ask you an honest question, a very honest question. When you see a man that's willing to let out a man that allegedly murdered one of the greatest hip-hop artists in the history of rap, one of the greatest rappers that was going to change the world and say, I'm a fan, in what world would he put that money up for no gain? Let me know. Why would he put that money up if he's not going to gain nothing? When he claims he's a fan of this guy. Please let me know. I'm going to let you figure out how we got here in society where we can sit here and know that a man was in a car when someone of this stature was murdered, and we can watch all of his interviews, we can watch all of his excerpts, his shorts, and we can see that he has a book out, maybe 2. He can move and stay in LA, in the same freaking city and state that he committed this crime, have a life, have a wife, and all this good stuff, and live untouched for over 25 years until LAPD decide to arrest him for this murder. And we are still trying to convince ourselves that Keefe D is a cool guy. He's an old man that doesn't deserve to be in prison. You got people in prison for less than this for murder. Somebody could murder somebody, knock on your door, sit down on your couch, now you aiding and abetting, and you just part of the murder right now. So I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out your hair. Wack 100 has zero respect for Tupac. Wack 100 literally went on to describe Tupac as a dude that was out of his depth, out of his league, and deserved what he got. Wack 100 is trying to let the murderer of Tupac, we don't know who shot Tupac, but we know he was in the car. So Wack 100 is content with putting up $750,000 to let the murderer of Tupac Shakur out of prison so he can do an interview, put up a documentary for his story, and get paid. I don't know how that's supposed to set well with you. I, on the other hand, it's not really setting well with me. I'm seeing people's true colors, which, I mean, it ain't nothing. Wack has never showed you anything but his true colors. He's never been anything but an opportunist and a guy that's literally here to take from the culture as much as he could. When you see a man that's willing to sit down with 6ix9ine and these other people that he sits down with and makes dances all around all the politics to get to the bag, you see what you get. But salute to whoever is out there for Tupac, for Tupac's memory. This was a great man. No, he did not bring down Death Row. Death Row was going down anyway. Suge Knight was on the way to bring that shit down by himself. He didn't need no help. Tupac had a brand new record label. He already had a name for it. He already signed artists. Tupac was leaving Death Row. So it wasn't going to be no Death Row. Dead ass. And I'm going to leave it at that. CLBMG. Make sure you head over to CLBMG.com. Check out what we got going on. Hit us with the Cashapp. Hit the follows. Hit the likes. If you like this, subscribe and share the video. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace. Elevate your mind with high-quality THC-infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.